Please, let's conduct the roll call of the states.
All right, you guys know the rules. I would ask that each state's representative come down to the microphone in the front, right here by the podium, right there. 60 seconds. I'm serious.
They just did. Sorry. General, you would know. Okay, please. No. Delaware, all right. Good, there we go. Test.
All right. Admitted to the Union, December 7th, 1787, the first state, Delaware.
Mr. Secretary, Delaware, the largest state in the Union. Delaware, the state that has flawlessly hosted over 50 NGAUS conferences. The state with over 200 miles of pristine, clear water beaches. In fact, most of our population survives on a strict diet of saltwater taffy. We are the state that decided the Battle of the Little Bighorn. The state that proudly boasts 54 presidents and 42 Miss Americas. And while none of this is true, what is true is that chickens outnumber Delaware citizens 200 to 1. And we will have the best hospitality suite Saturday night. They don't call us a small wonder for nothing. Delaware is in the house.
Admitted to the Union, December 12th, 1787, the Keystone State, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, the second state to join the Union, home of the country's third largest and oldest National Guard, full division, 4 brigades and 3 wings. Pennsylvania, a commonwealth where all 67 counties have an equal say in how things run. The capital of Harrisburg houses the largest group of paid legislators in the nation. Pennsylvania, home of the Pittsburgh Steelers, the only 6-time Super Bowl champions in U.S. history. Home of the country's oldest gas station in Altoona, the oldest golf course in Clarion. Home of the Amish, home of the Phillies, the Pirates, the Flyers, the Penguins, and Sixers. A place where you can eat anything you want deep fried. Home of Hershey, the chocolate capital of the world. Home of Lebanon bologna, ring bologna, and tasty cakes. The towns of Blue Ball, Intercourse, Big Beaver, and Jersey Shore. Co-sponsors with Nevada of arguably the best hospitality area on the 2nd floor of the Marriott, so come out and visit us on Saturday night.
Admitted to the Union, December 18th, 1787, the Garden State, New Jersey.
That's right, third in the Union, first in your hearts, the greatest state, the Garden State. Yes, New Jersey, home to that energy plant on the turnpike that smells like your favorite Porta-John in Kuwait. The state with the most diners in the world. Nothing says Jersey, baby, like a delicious Planet Disco fries at 2:30 in the morning after your 15th Bruce Springsteen concert. That's right. Jersey, the real home of the original Miss America, the Statue of Liberty. That's right, New York. Settle down, settle down. She's a Hudson County girl. You can keep Staten Island. The only state in the Union that doesn't have an accent. The rest of yous all just talk funny. New Jersey has the largest petroleum containment storage area in the United States, and I ain't talking about my hair. New Jersey, on behalf of the proud men and women of the New Jersey Army and Air National Guard who have served their state and nation since the American Revolution, through the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, to current operations in the homeland, we are Jersey strong, baby.
Admitted to the Union, January 2nd, 1788, the Empire State of the South, Georgia.
Georgia, a state of many prestigious firsts. Wesleyan College in Macon was the first college in the world chartered to grant degrees to women. Eli Whitney's Cotton Gin was founded near Savannah in 1793, and we were the first state to charter a university, none other than the University of Georgia. Go Dogs, you heard them. Speaking of prestige, Georgia, home of the official Redneck Games, where you can expect to see crowd favorites such as the toilet seat horseshoe and the mud pit belly flop. You're welcome. Georgia, where it's illegal to carry an ice cream cone in your back pocket if it's a Sunday. This is a law of big contention in our state, as Chick-fil-A is also closed on Sundays. If we can't have ice cream in our pockets and we can't have Chick-fil-A milkshakes in our hand, we're not quite sure what to do. And Georgia, where we currently have soldiers and airmen deployed in a number of different countries, and guardsmen and women returning from the great state of Texas and prepping for Irma in South Georgia, continue to do what we do best, fighting alongside of and in support of our brothers and sisters. Georgia, always ready, always there.
Admitted to the Union, January 9th, 1788, the Constitution State, Connecticut.
All right, so UConn Huskies, we have the women basketball, 111-game undefeated winning streak. Connecticut has also voluntarily been has been part of the DMZ zone. We have been keeping peace between the Yankees and the Red Sox for a number of years. So we have the world-renowned tobacco. We ship tobacco all over the place. If you notice on your tickets, you have you can turn in your tickets tonight for a cigar. Hopefully, it will be from Connecticut. We have Sikorsky and Pratt & Whitney keeping our military up in the air for who knows how long. Thank you for helping us fly, fight, and win. As you know, we don't have a budget, so we don't have pins to pass out. And the thing I like best about Connecticut is our C-130 mission.
Admitted to the Union, February 6, 1788, the Bay State, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Nation's First is in the house. Massachusetts is wicked psyched to be here and has a history of building winning teams, starting with the North, South, and East regiments. That's the birth of the National Guard on 13 December 1636. We continue that winning tradition today with our formation and beyond with the first place Boston Red Sox, the 6-time champion Boston Bruins, the 17-time champion Boston Celtics, and of course, everyone's favorite, the New England Patriots. Our delegations from all over the state of Massachusetts, from Western Mass, the Cape, Boston, Worcester, as well as other locations where we don't pronounce the R, but we have Dunkin' Donuts on every corner in the city. We hope to see you at the New England Hospitality Night and, of course, at Boston 2020 to experience our great state and city. Thank you.
Admitted to the Union, April 28, 1788, the Old Line State, Maryland.
Baltimore, Annapolis, Baltimore, hype! Crab cakes, football, that's what Maryland does. Babe Ruth, Cal Ripken Jr., Edgar Allan Poe, Francis Scott Key, and the Star Spangled Banner. That's what Maryland birthed. We are known for Old Bay, the Preakness, and the best flag in the nation. Woo! That's what Maryland does. Spike.
Admitted to the Union, May 23rd, 1788, the Palmetto State, South Carolina.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are currently 500 miles from the Palmetto State, from epic Blue Ridge vistas and nonstop oceanfront awesomeness along the coast of Myrtle Beach, from our pristine islands, year-round golfing, from NASCAR's track Too Tough to Tame, and from Condé Nast's #1 tourist destination in America for the 4th year in a row, and Travel and Leisure's #1 city in the world, Charleston. We are the home of the NCAA's reigning national champions, the winners of college football's first ever national championship rematch, Alabama's worst nightmare, the Clemson Tigers. We got your pimento cheese, your pulled pork, your low country boil, your shrimp and grits. We're the birthplace of the godfather of soul, James Brown, of world heavyweight champ Joe Frazier, of country superstar Darius Rucker and Hootie and the Blowfish, of President Andrew Jackson, and Gaffney's favorite son, President Frank Underwood. Our former governor, Nikki Haley, is kicking ass and taking names as your U.S. ambassador of the United Nations, and we're home to the NCAA's reigning national champions, women's basketball
to the
team.
Union,
Gamecock.
June 21st, 1788, the Granite State, New Hampshire.
New Hampshire is proof that size doesn't matter. With our 4-engine tanker, there's no lack of swagger. Hardened people who have fought without fear, they will not run and choose to stay when winter is here.
While we're on the topic, we have our own house, Stark. General John at Bunker Hill is where he left his mark. Bailing out Boston since 1775, our Blackhawks now helping all their hikers to survive. HIMARS MP's rough and tough mountain infantry. We always make the news as the first to vote in the primary.
Our Alan Shepard started as a skilled flying ace, from test pilot to hero to the first man in space. This granite stater clearly was not lacking. Only problem was he came from the Navy. We've got soldiers on the ground and airmen in the skies. When you're from the Granite State, it's live free or die. New Hampshire's in the house.
Admitted to the Union June 25th, 1788, Old Dominion, the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Virginia, the land of everything. The first president, we liked it so much we gave 7 more. The first place to grow peanuts. Sorry, Georgia. Kentucky and West Virginia, you were once Virginians. We miss you and want you back. We were the first of the 13 colonies, the first English-speaking settlement in Jamestown. Folks, you can swim with dolphins by the birthplace of Pocahontas. You can kayak in the longest uninhabited barrier island chain in the global temperate zone right here in Virginia. We have the largest naval station in the world. Our guard started in 1607. When did your guard start? We had the first Thanksgiving in Virginia. We are the first state to functionally end veterans' homelessness. And the English surrendered right there in Virginia to make the country.
1. Admitted to the Union July 26, 1788, the Empire State, New York.
New York, the Empire State, home to the Statue of Liberty. Forget about it, Jersey. Niagara Falls, half the Thousand Islands, Buffalo Wings, and the President of the United States of America. Our great state is known for many things, including the strength and agility of our Air and Army Guard formations, the professionalism, dedication, and hearts of the soldiers and airmen that fill its ranks. Our soldiers and airmen continue to carry the fight to the enemy in the Middle East, the Horn of Africa, Afghanistan, and Guantanamo Bay. Others are fulfilling the demands of state civil service support missions, supporting scientific missions in Greenland and Antarctica, watching the skies of the East, or sweating it out at JRTC. From sand to snow and pole to pole, our servicemen and families are the very embodiment of all that is great about New York. New York military forces, always ready, always there.
Admitted to the Union November 21st, 1789, the Tar Heel State, North Carolina.
North Carolina, everyone wants to be us. On us, enjoy some Krispy Kreme, cheer wine, and Mount Olive Pickles, the producer of the largest pickle company. Still the most loved quarterback, Cam Newton, but who cares? It's all about college ball in North Carolina, the first English colony in America. We're also the first state to declare independence from England, the oldest state university, first in flight, the Wright brothers. We also are the home of Texas Pete, the barbecue capital. Stand by, South Carolina, can't beat us, and Alabama, stay home with that white sauce. Still, the furniture capital, NASCAR, and moonshine. The first producer of sweet potato vodka, and you will leave Tito's after sampling some in North Carolina. Leads the nation in sweet potato, tobacco, brick, textile, and production. It's the highest peak east of Mississippi, the highest waterfalls, the tallest dams, and the highest town in the eastern United States. Got President Jackson, President Polk, and the 3rd largest military presence. You can't beat us, so you might as well join us in the National Convention in 2021. Go North Carolina!
Admitted to the Union May 29th, 1790, the Ocean State, Rhode Island.
Rhode Island, where submarine sandwiches are grinders, water fountains are bubblers, and milkshakes are called cabinets. Come for the weather, stay for the taxes. Where the taxes are so high, we apologize, we couldn't hand out better stuff.
Rhode Island is such a small state, we pack an overnight bag to drive to the next town over. Rhode Island has more shipwrecks per square mile than any other state. Rhode Island never approved the 18th Amendment, otherwise known as Prohibition. Our official state drink since '93 is coffee milk. In case it wasn't already obvious, we have a coffee addiction. Not only does Providence have more coffee and donut shops per capita anywhere else in the country, there are also more Dunkin' Donuts per square mile in Rhode Island anywhere else in the world. Rhode Island named after Greek Isle of Rhodes. Rhode Island has the longest state name and the shortest state motto. Home to the Quonset Hut. Rhode Island.
Admitted to the Union March 4th, 1791. The Green Mountain State, Vermont.
Woo! Vermont, home of a number of odd things. Bernie Sanders is the center of our world. We made Feel the Burn a cool, just ask Burlington College. We're the only state that doesn't require us to balance our budget every year. Just ask Father Bernie. Hippies make up a majority of our state that doesn't recognize weed as legal. There are actually more cows than people, and Subarus and Priuses are the vehicles of choice. In fact, the more Bernie and Hillary stickers you have in your car, the more Vermont you become. However, it only takes 4 generations of living there to actually call yourself a real Vermonter. Vermont is home of the history's longest undefeated football team, UVM. Since the 70s, they've never existed, so therefore they've never lost the game. Vermont is also home of the oldest private military college in the United States, Norwich University, founded in 1819, in a town that still is in the 1800s because of lack of technology. Vermont is known as the Green Mountain State, also home of the National Guard's only mountain warfare unit, the Army Mountain Warfare School, and the only National Guard unit to have the gold-plated F-35s.
Admitted to the Union June 1st, 1792, the Bluegrass State, the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Welcome to Kentucky, a state divided by a common sport. Whether you're a Kentucky Wildcat, a Louisville Cardinal, a Tiger, or a Bruin, or choose to be unaffiliated, we're still glad you're here. You've landed smack dab in the middle of the land of fast horses, faster cars, and the place that runs off the best damn brand of liquor in the whole world. If you're in taste lens toward the most exciting 2 minutes in sports, we've got the Kentucky Derby at Churchill Downs. If you want to take a pull off your favorite bourbon where it was born, well, you're in the heart of bourbon country and the Bourbon Trail. If you're a speed nut or a NASCAR fan, we've got the GM's only Corvette factory and Kentucky Speedway, both about an hour away. And after all that, you decide you want a mouthful to eat, we'll sit you down and feed you some of the Colonel's finger-licking secret recipe, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and you can wash it down in L.A. Now, once all that's done, and you want to take a cultural venue, then I suggest you go about 80 miles down the road to Lexington, Kentucky, where we have the display of the world's greatest display of SEC and NCAA tournaments.
Admitted to the Union June 1st, 1796, the Volunteer State, Tennessee.
Well, the state does it better than all the rest, so listen close and don't be green. We come from a place with smoky mountains, a volunteer spirit, and a football team. Baby, don't go, it's time to go. That's all right. Some states fierce, others wanna be it, but it's good to be a guardsman in Tennessee. But we say, oh, oh. Oh, 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 we say, oh, oh, we are from Tennessee. Oh, 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 we say, oh, oh, we are from Tennessee.
Admitted to the Union March 1st, 1803, the Buckeye State, Ohio.
I can't follow that. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to ramble! From Ohio, the future home of the 2022 NGAUS Conference, home to 7 presidents, Neil Armstrong and the Wright brothers. Ohioans become presidents, and when we don't, we pick them. First Ohio state to install the electric traffic lights, the first city to be installed with electricity, the first professional baseball team, the first to enact laws protecting working women, the only state designed to have a pennant for its flag. Without Ohio, ladies and gentlemen, we would not have the hot dog. And of course, we're home to the Ohio State Buckeyes, OH!
Admitted to the Union April 30th, 1812, my home state, the Pelican State, Louisiana.
Hey, ¿cómo se va, mes amis? This is KJ Man here on behalf of Governor Edwards and General Curtis. We want to welcome y'all to next year's NGAUS conference. We're gonna come down, y'all gonna come down to New Orleans, and we're gonna fix y'all some concoction. Y'all gonna have some libation, maybe do some gyration, maybe even get a little bit of intoxication. If you get lucky, maybe you get some I'm not supposed to say that out loud now, child. Now look, child, we want y'all to come on down, enjoy our town, enjoy our state, enjoy the seafood, enjoy the alcohol, because we gonna show y'all the best time that you ever gonna forget. And you won't remember it. So y'all come on down and discover your New Orleans. As we say in Cajun French, les de la bon temps roulé avec de la nouveau New Orleans in August 2018, child. Come on.
Admitted to the Union December 11th, 1816, the Hoosier State, Indiana.
Greetings from one of the most tenacious states of the Union, Indiana, 38th in size, 16th in population, but home to the 4th largest Army National Guard and 6th largest Air National Guard. Yes, everyone and their mother and the dog is part of the National Guard. Hashtag beat that. We're also proud to say that James Dean, Jim Davis, David Letterman, and Abraham Lincoln can call this state their home. We are also famous for our limestone, the Empire State Building, Rockefeller Plaza, and the Pentagon, all buildings you may have heard of, were built with this sturdy and beautiful Indiana limestone. You're welcome, New York and DC. You can also find Santa Claus, Indiana, and Peru, Indiana, which is the circus capital of America. And here today, we have captains from each of these cities, and they even married each other. Hashtag double the drink tickets. So take a short trip north and catch a race, a Division I basketball game, and visit Lincoln Childhood Home and the Crossroads of America, and try and figure out what a Hoosier is in Indiana.
3, 2, 1. Admitted to the Union December 10th, 1817, the Magnolia State, Mississippi.
Celebrating its bicentennial year, the great state of Mississippi is here. In agriculture, Mississippi is a powerhouse in chicken, cotton, and pulpwood production, and General Rice will be glad to know Mississippi is the catfish capital of the world. In music, it's the birthplace of the Delta Blues, as well as blues icons B.B. King and Muddy Waters, the birthplace of the king of rock and roll Elvis Presley, the father of country music Jimmy Rogers, as well as Conway Twitty, Jimmy Buffett, Tammy Wynette, Faith Hill, and Charlie Pride. In sports, Mississippi proudly produced football legends Walter Payton, Jerry Rice, and Brett Favre. In literature, home to William Faulkner, Eudora Welty, and Tennessee Williams. We also lay claim to James Earl Jones, Oprah Winfrey, and of course, the president of NGAUS, General Roy Robinson. Come on down and see why they call Mississippi the Magnolia State.
3. Admitted to the Union December 3rd, 1818, the Prairie State, Illinois.
Illinois, the home of sports dynasties like the Blackhawks, the Bulls, the Bears, and the next Illinois dynasty, the Cubbies, even though it took them over a century to win. Oh, and we also have one more baseball team, the Chicago White Sox. Illinois, where our average is improving now that we have 3 of 5 of our last governors who haven't gone to jail yet. We finally have a budget, so that's not funny anymore. Illinois, home to great men and women like Abraham Lincoln, Bill Murray, and Betty White. Now there's a party. We grow corn and presidents like Lincoln, Grant, and Reagan, and we are the home of other presidents like Obama. Illinois, 80% farmland, 20% Chicago. Now that's not the state capital, just a little FYI. Illinois is in the house.
Admitted to the Union December 14th, 1819, the heart of Dixie, Alabama.
Sweet home Alabama. Madam Secretary, on behalf of our Adjutant General, Major General Cheryl Gordon, and the 11,000 men and women in the Alabama and Army and Air National Guard, we bring you greetings from the football capital of the South. We are from Huntsville, the Rocket City, home of the U.S. Space and Rocket Center, where Alabama workers built the first rocket that put humans on the moon. We're from Birmingham, the Magic City, home of the world-class University of Alabama at Birmingham medical school and hospital system. Montgomery, the capital city, the birthplace of civil rights movement in America. Tuscaloosa, home of the 16-time national champion Alabama Crimson Tide. Auburn, the loveliest village on the plain and home of the SEC powerhouse Auburn Tigers. And Mobile, sorry Louisiana, it is the home of the oldest annual carnival celebration in the United States, which started in 1703, 15 years before New Orleans was founded. Home of the two greatest football coaches ever to walk the sideline, Bear Bryant and Nick Saban. Home of the both Shakespeare Festival and the
All right, admitted to the Union, March 15th, 1820, the Pine Tree State, Maine.
Maine, the land of lobster, moose, and bayonets. The latter we've used without regrets on the British and Germans and Japanese and such, and our friends from the South, but that's a bit much. Hark now to my tale of sadness and woe. All this happened some years ago when Maine was a part of the state below. Massachusetts, that is, I'm afraid it was so. In 1814, the cry did resound, the British are coming, their legions abound. We called out to Boston, send troops in a rush. The response came back, calm down now and hush. No troops from Maine was the word of the day. The British were coming, all set for the fray. So Maine mustered at Portland, dug in at all armed. With thousands of troops, the Brits were alarmed. We kept off the foe, though our cities were burnt. No thanks to Massachusetts, whose feelings I hurt. And 6 years later, we made a decree from Boston's affairs, we all must be free. Dirigo, I lead, came the state's declared motto, and we began on our own with a tad of bravado. That's how it happened, it's true, says the bard, and with it, the birth of the Maine National Guard.
Admitted to the Union, August 10th, 1821, the Show Me State, Missouri.
Home of the 2018 Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs. Sorry, New England. Is that even a state? Missouri is the only state in the Union where everyone knows our motto. That's right, Show Me State. Missouri with almost 12,000 National Guard members serving our communities, our state, and our country proudly. Home to General Frank Grass, former chief of the National Guard Bureau. And our Adjutant General, Major General Steve Danner, NGAUS past chair. Home to the 131st Bomb Wing, the only Air Guard unit with a nuclear mission. Home to one of only 4 AVGRAD facilities in the U.S. Home to Boeing, Express Scripts, and Emerson Electric. Home to President Harry Truman, Generals Omar Bradley and John J. Pershing. Home to St. Joseph, where the Pony Express began and the infamous Jesse James was assassinated. It is a gateway to the West, witnessed the first successful airplane parachute jump by Captain Barry in 1912. Home to 11-time World Series champion St. Louis Cardinals and 2-time World Series champion Kansas City Royals. Missouri is in the house.
Admitted to the Union, June 15th, 1836, the Natural State, Arkansas.
All right, y'all Kansas folk. First off, it's pronounced Arkansas, like you picked up the hammer and you saw, all right? Next thing is Arkansas originates from the Quapaw, meaning south wind. Arkansas is an incredible state with incredible people. Incredible people like country singers Johnny Cash, Charlie Rich, Tracy Lawrence, and famous writer John Grisham. We're also proud of 2 of our actors, Billy Bob Thornton and the setting of his movie, Sling Blade. Yeah. And the lady that played the mom in Step Brothers. We're also proud that Arkansas had the first woman senator, Hattie Caraway. Arkansas is also the home to some large industry global companies.
2,
Walmart.
1. Admitted to the Union, January 26th, 1837, the Wolverine State, Michigan.
Michigan, the magic capital of the U.S. Here's a quick demonstration. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Down here, Mr. Camel Guy. Mr. Chairman, President is the great state of Michigan!
Admitted to the Union, March 3rd, 1845, the Sunshine State, Florida.
Let's all stand up and give a hand to our Florida National Guard.
Admitted to the Union, December 29th, 1845, the Lone Star State, Texas.
Hello, hello, hello. Texas is very proud to be in the house. I'm sure some of you are surprised to see us. Yes, Harvey came to town and took it to us, but it takes a lot more than Harvey to keep the great state of Texas down. We are resilient. We may be known as the Lone Star State, but we have many, many stars that reside in Texas. Texans helping Texans, that's what we do. That's why the Texas motto is friendship. Texas is the largest state in the contiguous United States and is larger than many nations in the world, including every country in Europe. So it will take a lot more than Harvey to keep us down. And by the way, the Texas Rangers are the oldest law enforcement agency in North America with statewide jurisdiction. And John Wayne and Chuck Norris are honorary Texas Rangers. So mess with us, you mess with them. We have the only Formula One racetrack in the United States. We also have the only factory that makes the original Dr. Pepper recipe, and there's no period in doctor.
Admitted to the Union, December 28th, 1846, the Hawkeye State, Iowa.
It is said they saved the best for first or last. That's simply not true because it's in the middle, and that's where Iowa is, the Hawkeye State. You know, we don't have bourbon, but do you like bacon? You're welcome. We're the only state with a 4-to-1 ratio of pigs to people, but we are more than that. We have corn too. Really, we are more than a flyover state. We have the best and largest state fair in the world. We have more golf courses per capita than any other state, and we have many contributions we've made to America. I'm going to list them. Did I say bacon? High fructose corn syrup, Papa John's pizza, sliced bread, Captain Kirk, peanut butter, and even John Wayne. You can't take that, Texas. That's ours. So again, you're welcome. Go Hawks and Cyclones.
Admitted to the Union, May 29th, 1848, the Badger State, Wisconsin.
Yeah, on Wisconsin. We were the 30th state to join the Union, but hey, we beat California. We're home to the Wisconsin National Guard Association, which has 37 consecutive years of 100% membership. Wisconsin, where you can find the world's largest cow chip throwing festival. Yes, that is the world's largest celebration of bovine fecal matter. We use the cow for more, though, as Wisconsin produces more cheese than any other state in the nation. And we are not even including all those foam cheese hats you may see on TV. Actually, 90% of the milk from Wisconsin cows is used to make cheese. We take our dairy so seriously it is actually against the law in Wisconsin for a restaurant to substitute butter with margarine without a specific request from the customer. But don't get us wrong, we're not a one-trick pony. We lead in cranberries, whey, ginseng root, and sweet corn. But nothing official, let's not forget about beer. We did have an extra 4 years, though. We repealed Prohibition 4 years early. So when you stay Wisconsin,
You've said it all. On Wisconsin.
Admitted to the Union September 5th, 1850, the Golden State, California.
Thank you. California, the Golden State, where you can surf, wine taste, and hit the ski slopes all in a day. Our diversity and desirable climate make us the most populous state in America, with some of the highest taxes and BAH out there. And we're the only state to host both Summer and Winter Olympics. We are both home to the Hippie and to some of the largest military installations around. You will even find the highest and lowest points in the country in our great state. The 6th largest economy in the world and the 5th largest supplier of food in the world, California is known as America's fruit basket and salad bowl, producing more peaches, almonds, and avocados than anywhere else. We're also home to 5-time NBA national champions, the Golden State Warriors. A state full of contrast and contradictions, we are home of the Blue Jeans, Bald Eagles, and the birthplace of McDonald's, the In-N-Out Burger, and CrossFit. From the pine trees of Northern California to the palms of Southern California, you won't find a more unique place to be. Ladies and gentlemen, California's in the house.
Admitted to the Union May 11th, 1858, the North Star State, Minnesota.
Minnesota is home of 10,000 lakes with 90 miles of shoreline, more than Hawaii, California, and Florida combined. We have a state of hockey with even more ice rinks than lakes. Home of the original salted nut roll, the Post-it note, the Cheerio, and Spam. Don't ask what's in it, you don't really want to know. Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox claim their home here along with Oli, Lena, and their best neighbor Sven. We are a state that builds stadiums for losing sports team, who is always in the market for a second-rate quarterback to win our first Super Bowl. But if you want to learn how to walk on water, visit us next February. We're hosting SB 52. We elect anyone from feather boa-wearing wrestlers to slapstick comedians. This is why Minnesota, don't you know, where people smile and blow you off with, yeah, sure, you betcha. We deep fry our passive aggressiveness.
Admitted to the Union February 14th, 1859, the Beaver State, Oregon.
We are Oregon. Oregon, like large caliber. We are friendly, committed, and want to help. Our humidity's so committed, it's rain. Texas, our special task squadron has boat will travel and did so. Thank you, and we're happy to help. We don't have just one fire in Oregon. We said let's have 24, so we're fighting those. We got as much rain as Texas, just not in 3 days. Texas, please, we could use some back. We don't have hurricanes on the West Coast, but we do respect a group's right to protest that. We have the best dressed football team. Sorry for y'all. Our corporate sponsors are Danner, Gerber, Fleer, Massett, Benchmade, Leatherman, Electro, and Rogue Beer. Just wanted to say Rogue Beer bottled water for Hurricane. I heard Budweiser just changed their label. Oregon's in the house.
Admitted to the Union January 29th, 1861, the Sunflower State, Kansas.
Greetings from the Sunflower State, where there's no place like home. We span the Great Plains to the Flint Hills. We rock chalk like Jayhawks in Lawrence. We emo like Wildcats in Manhattan, and we woo shock in Wichita. We raise historical figures such as Bob Dole, Dwight Eisenhower, and Amelia Earhart, and we farm soybeans, corn, and of course wheat. Our Kansas City Chiefs took it to the limits last night against the Patriots. So to our New England friends, carry on our wayward sons. We're also known for our Buffalo Prairie Lands, and we fly from the air capital of the world, although we're not in Kansas anymore, as we brought a full 30 delegates to Louisville. Led by the fearless Major General Lee Taffanelli, we are the people of the South Wind. We are the people of Kansas.
Admitted to the Union June 20th, 1863, the Mountain State, West by God, Virginia.
If West by God, Virginia's got anything, it's Moxie. We are the only state that was created by carving out territory from another state without Virginia's permission. Furthermore, West Virginia knows its stone. The stone used for the Washington Monument was actually stone that was quarried near Hinton. Yeah, that's right. Our stone gets around. West Virginia is also entrenched in American war history. Bailey Brown, the first Union soldier killed in the Civil War, died in 1861. And Chester Merriman of West Virginia was the youngest soldier of World War I. He was enlisted at 14. And you thought your teenage years were hard. Last, but certainly not least, we are the home state of our beloved chairman of the board, Major General James A. Hoyer.
Admitted to the Union October 31st, 1864, the Sagebrush State, Nevada.
Nevada, the 7th largest state in the Union size-wise. Home to 3 million people and is the largest gold-producing state in the U.S. Home to casinos, Las Vegas has the most hotel rooms in the world. Put on the map with the discovery of the cornstalk lode, Nevada is a thriving home to industry giants such as Tesla, Panasonic, Amazon, Microsoft, and Zappos, just to name a few. Nevada is also the future home to the Oakland, that's right, the Las Vegas Raiders. Such attractions such as Hoover Dam, Pyramid Lake, Lake Tahoe, and you said recreational marijuana distribution centers bring many to the state. Led by Governor Sandoval and our Adjutant General Bill Burke's home means Nevada, battle-born. Our state partnership program with Tonga is also represented today with Lord Valhalla. Please enjoy the silver candy samples we are passing out, and join us tomorrow night at our hospitality suite. It's at the Marriott and it's going to be co-hosted with Pennsylvania.
Admitted to the Union March 1st, 1867, the Cornhusker State, Nebraska.
We are Nebraska, home of the Cornhuskers, who are currently 1-0. Another undefeated season, it never gets old. Like to golf? Well, we have 3 of the top 50 golf courses in the country. You Air Force people should love that. We gave you Dick Cavett and Johnny Carson. We basically invented late night television. You're welcome, America. We have the Omaha Zoo, voted best zoo in the world. We created Kool-Aid. Want to know what freedom tastes like? Well, we put it in powder form so you could find out. It's delicious. Do you have a screw loose? Well, we can help because we invented the vice grip. Heard of Warren Buffett? We have, because he's a Nebraskan. Fact, that dude has more money than you. We're halfway between San Diego and Boston. Both good, but not as good as Nebraska. These are facts, people. I Googled it. We have the Silicon Prairie, Verizon, Google, Facebook, PayPal. That's all in Nebraska. Have 15 seconds to save 15%? We do. We gave you Marlon Brando, Fred Astaire, Buffalo Bill, Malcolm X, and President Ford. See, we grow more than just corn. And as Albert Einstein famously said, I wish I was smart enough to live in Nebraska. Go Big Red.
Admitted to the Union August 1st, 1876, the Centennial State, Colorado.
We are Colorado, the mile-high state, and I'm not just talking about the greenery, people. Founded in 1876, 100 years after signing of the Declaration of Independence, we are home to every professional sports team you can imagine, to include the 3-time Super Bowl champion Denver Broncos. We have the second most craft breweries of any state, and Coors Brewery calls Golden, Colorado home. Think about us when you're sipping those Coors Lights. We shred the gnar on fresh Pow Pow every winter and take those same paths down on our mountain bikes in the summer. Our music scene is just as spectacular as the scenery around our great state. We are home to the greatest outdoor music venue in the country. Red Rocks Amphitheater will make you pay for that beer by climbing up its 380 steps before enjoying the sweet sounds. We have over 300 days of sunshine, so you can't help but smile as you climb a 14er for fun, because that's what we do in the state that consistently ranks in the top 5 healthiest places to live. See you in August 2019.
Admitted to the Union November 2nd, 1889, the Coyote State, South Dakota.
South Dakota is here! You can't find us. We're sitting here up front because we've been over 100% for 18 years. Can't read the sign in the back of the room. It says 106%. South Dakota is most well known for Mount Rushmore, the Black Hills, the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, and the best pheasant hunting anywhere. Only in South Dakota can you find Division I mascots like the Jackrabbits, Go Jacks, and the Yotes, Go Yotes. And small town mascots like the irrigators and the scoopers. We have 35 attendees here representing our 3,167 soldiers, or 1,073 airmen. Our soldiers have earned the record trophy the last 3 years. Our flying units have won the last 4 years. 2/3 of our Superior Unit Awards from the nation come from South Dakota this year. From the land of great places and great places, South Dakota!
Admitted to the Union, November 2nd, 1889, the Peace Garden, North Dakota.
North Dakota, we have way too many people that are famous to list. So I'll tell you a little bit about the least visited state in the country, North Dakota. Our state tree is a telephone pole. We are the coldest state in the continental U.S. We have the most churches per capita. We use the expression oofta anytime we eat something spicier than ketchup. We wear flannels and Uggs for survival, not for silly fashion statement. Our state drink is milk, followed by a close second, beer. North Dakota is the 3rd-ranked nuclear power in the world. Our air defense soldiers, currently protecting the nation's capital. Our MQ-9 Reapers rain hellfires on our enemies daily, and we set the example in responding to civil unrest and protecting protesters' rights. No more DAPL. Come see Randy from Bobcat in the Muhammad Ali Suite in the Brown Hotel. Go Bison! Go Sioux! Or Fighting Hawks. North
Admitted to the Union, November 8th, 1889, the Treasure State, Montana.
We are Montana, the Big Sky country, the 4th largest state in the U.S. by area. You can fit Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, Pennsylvania, and New York within its borders and still have room for the District of Columbia. Despite its large size, Montana is the 44th most populated state in the nation. Montana holds the record for the most dramatic temperature change to occur over a 24-hour period. In 1972 in Loma, the temperatures rose from negative 54 degrees Fahrenheit to 49 degrees Fahrenheit. 103 degrees for those math impaired. That's 4.3 degrees change an hour. We also boast the largest difference in record highs and lows, spanning 187 degrees with a low record of negative 70 and a high of 117. Travelers Rest in Lolo was a stopping point on the Lewis and Clark expedition. It's the only site on the Lewis and Clark Trail that has physical proof of the explorer's presence. Montana, the true Jurassic Park, home of 13 T-Rex specimens. Montana, ready to ride.
Admitted to the Union, November 11th, 1889, the Evergreen State, Washington.
And on behalf of Washington and all the airmen and soldiers who are not members of NGAUS, we want to invite them to become members. And that's why we sit in the back of the room. So please come and visit us in the back and have some wonderful almond roca. Washington is home of all the good food. Cherries, raspberries, apples, all the stuff that we like to eat is coming from Washington State. Even more importantly, Starbucks, Microsoft. I could list more, but I won't.
Admitted to the Union, July 3rd, 1890, the Gem State, Idaho.
The Gem State, Idaho in the house! All right, just for reference, we're in the northwest corner of the lower 48. We are not Iowa. All right, listen. Idaho, the 43rd state in the Union. Everybody behind me came after. A land of rugged beauty, a million of acres of wilderness with a landscape that ranges from subalpine to desert, granite mountains and fertile farms, lakes and waterfalls to canyons and gorges. Idaho is a study in geographic diversity.
Hell's Canyon at 7,900 feet is the deepest in North America, deeper even than the Grand Canyon. Shoshone Falls on the Snake River are higher than Niagara Falls. Our state has more white water than any other state in the lower 48.
Though many people come to Idaho for various reasons, one of the top tourist attractions is the Blue, referring to blue turf at Boise State, where our beloved Broncos play. Gary Stevens, also a racing jockey and actor, won multiple...
Admitted to the Union, July 10th, 1890, the Equality State, Wyoming.
Greetings from the Cowboy State of Wyoming, home to the world's largest outdoor rodeo known as the daddy of them all, Cheyenne Frontier Days. Wyoming is also home to the country's first National Park in Yellowstone, as well as the country's first national monument, Devil's Tower. We're the least populated state, and the 2017 solar eclipse more than doubled our state's population. Thank you, solar eclipse. Wyoming is the first state to have a female governor, as well as the first state to allow women voting. It's also home to the largest supervolcano in the United States as well, up in the northwest corner in Yellowstone National Park. States as well. Sorry, West Virginia. We only have one 4-year university in the universe. Wyoming's in the house.
Admitted to the Union January 4th, 1896, the Beehive State, Utah.
Utah, not the first state, but not the last, the Beehive State, home of the best soldiers and airmen on the planet, the place where this is the right place is taught, where Jim Bridger discovered the Pacific Ocean, then rediscovered the Great Salt Lake. The state with 2 national recreational areas, 5 national parks, 7 national monuments, and 45 state parks, where there are an average 300 sunny days per year. Home of the oldest amusement park in the West, where the Transcontinental Railroad connected at Promontory Point. Utah houses the nation's 2nd largest on-site language school, the Missionary Training Center. DLI is the biggest. Home of the largest dinosaur raptor called the Utah Raptor. Utah has 25 colleges and universities and has the highest literacy rate. With 31% of the population under 18, Utah is the youngest state in the union. Industrious and innovative by nature, Utah invented the Browning rifle, the Frisbee, the traffic light, the TV, the first department store, Sundance, Skull Candy, Marriott, JetBlue.
Admitted to the Union November 16th, 1907, the Sooner State, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, home of rolling hills, sweeping plains, lush forests, and pristine deserts. Home of 200 man-made lakes with over 11,000 miles of coastline. Home of the Oklahoma Sooners, Oklahoma State Cowboys, reigning NBA MVP Russell Westbrook. Birthplace of Brad Pitt, Garth Brooks, and Chuck Norris. Oklahoma, where the wind goes sweeping down the plain and the waving wheat, it sure smells sweet when the wind comes right behind the rain. We know we belong to the land, and the land we belong to is grand. And when we say, oh, hi-yippee-oh-yay, you're only saying you're doing fine, Oklahoma, Oklahoma. O-K-L-A-H-O-M.
Admitted to the Union January 6th, 1912, Land of Enchantment, New Mexico.
The great state of New Mexico. Our boundaries were drawn in 1863, became a state in 1912. We're home of red and green chili, the largest hot air balloon festival in the world, and the only place you can relive the steps of Walter White and the footsteps of Heisenberg. Our capital, Santa Fe, is the oldest capital in the United States, founded in 1610. That's 10 years before the Pilgrims landed on Plymouth Rock. And at 7,000 feet above sea level, it's the highest, sorry, Denver. We're the home of the Manhattan Project, 19 Pueblo Indian tribes, and the only place where descendants of Spanish colonists still speak a 16th century dialect. We have flying saucers in Roswell, the grave of Billy the Kid. The New Mexico National Guard charged up San Juan Hill. We flew out of Tu Hoi in Vietnam. We battled in Bataan and Balad. We're also the home of Mike Judge, D.H. Lawrence, Geronimo, Holly Holm, the Unser family, and Winter is Coming, George R.R. Martin. We're also the only state that is constitutionally bilingual. Siempre adelante.
Admitted to the Union February 14th, 1912, the Grand Canyon State, Arizona.
Madam Secretary, it is with honor that we represent the great 48th state. In Arizona, the summers never end. Our canyons are grand, and the presidential pardons are swift. Indeed, we beat to a different drum. It's too hot to wear any pants. We don't even wear shoes. We certainly don't change our clocks to save daylight. And we are well known for our love of open borders decorated by walls. We like them so much that we will build a few more walls to confuse our pot-smoking neighbor states, since our metric system roads don't seem to do the trick. Whether Democrat, Republican, or Independent, Arizonans are Americans first. except for all of our Canadian snowbird friends. Thanks for hosting Louisville. It's great to visit a place that loves Cardinals as much as we do. Madam Secretary, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Admitted to the Union, January 3rd, 1959, the last frontier, Alaska.
Welcome from the great state of Alaska. So for the past 7 or 8 years, I've been falling in love with the state of Alaska. I'm actually from South Carolina, but I've done my research. On the Discovery Channel, I've watched Gold Rush, Deadliest Catch, Alaskan Bush People, but since I've been there for 49 days, I've done none of the things. I haven't paid for gold, I haven't gone fishing or anything. But for the 49 days I've been there, I haven't slept one bit because it doesn't get dark in the summer in Alaska. But they tell me I'll make up for it in the winter because it never gets light, so I'll get plenty of sleep then. So Alaska, home to 175,000 moose, 10 of which live across the street from me at Fort Greely. Walk across my front yard every day, keeping my grass nice and trim. All right, 25% of all the U.S. oil comes from Alaska. Alaska, known as America's last frontier, is also home to the 49th Missile Defense Battalion. Hopefully you'll never have to hear about us, but if North Korea ever decides to shoot at us, we'll protect the homeland from them. Thank you.
Admitted to the Union, August 21st, 1959, the Aloha State, Hawaii.
Ka ika vena ika la ika papa, he vehe o I au ku aina pu, he walele kai na ka he ova I au, ie, mai ka palina ova I au.
Hawaii, the 50th state and a non-contiguous island state. If you don't know what that means, look it up. I don't either. Where we have beautiful people and air is clear, where we do the shaka and ami lomi lomi. Kentucky, you got the Derby and bourbon. Well, Hawaii, we have the paniolo and mai tais. You got the mint julep, we got the primo beer. You have the Mentos and Airhead, we love those. We would gladly trade our Kona coffee, Magnets, and Aloha Spirit. Hawaii, home of the Aloha Tire, Lava Rocks, beautiful Pacific Ocean, Pipikala, and the Maui Waui. Hawaii, where everything is too damn expensive and the traffic is horrendous, but it's worth coming there anyway. Aloha!
Our nation's capital, the District of Columbia.
As the baby officer of the bunch, I introduce the most awesome city who has protected the capital and defended the nation since 1802, been supportive of all major conflicts, and has hosted the presidential inauguration since 1861. We maintain a posture to keep all residents, workers, and visitors safe on a daily basis. 600,000 people swell to more than 1 million daily and easily grow to more during special events. What you may not know is there is an empty crypt underneath of the DC Capitol. The largest library is the Library of Congress is in Washington, D.C. Introduce the 7th inning stretch, woohoo! But we drink more wine per capita than the residents of the 50 states. Still not in the union because you won't let us in, but we bring 16 delegates, both Army and Air. We are the DC National Guard.
John is his name, the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico.
All right, let's hear it for Puerto Rico National Guard. Who's next?
The island of steel drums, the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Stay on your feet for our brothers and sisters from the Virgin Islands.
And finally, where America's day begins, Guam.
As always, we save the best for last.
For all those who don't know, we are the nation's tip of the spear, where America's day begins. A small island, we have big hearts with a population of 170,000 people. We have the most guardsmen per capita, and we are the #1 consumer of Spam. For most of you, Guam has now had its limelight these past few months. You hear it all over the news about North Korea and their threats, but I assure you, we are not worried. From hunting, fishing, eating, drinking coconuts, we can self-sustain. That is why we are nicknamed the Island of Warriors. Biba Guam, Biba NGAUS, and Biba National Guard.